Hello and thanks for watching. I'm Scottie Jones and this is Inside Gaston. Today we have a couple new stories for you about Gaston College and what's going on today. First off, we have Nicholas Helms with a story from the cafe here at Gaston College and its rating of 100.5. Nick?
Thank you, Scotty. I'm here at Gaston College Campus Cafe looking into the excellent sanitation policy it has received from the health department. Already a popular place for students, now with excellent marks in sanitation, the Campus Cafe will only grow in popularity for students here at Gaston College. With its excellent sanitation rate of 100.5. Whether it's breakfast or lunch, students here at Gaston College love to socialize and eat at Campus Cafe.
It's awesome. I like it. I mean, I guess it's the best college food ever. Hey.
All right, and how do you feel about the sanitation rating that they got?
Well, I feel like they do deserve the grade because the food is good. Like I said, it's awesome. I mean, and plus every time I go in there, it's always clean, so.
It was very delicious. I eat it like every single day, breakfast and lunch. It's a good way to spend time while you're waiting on your next class and everything. The rating for the school is like, what, 105 or 100.5 or something like that. I think it's very good. I've never heard anybody getting sick, and I'll continue to eat the food.
For Inside Gaston College, I'm Nicholas Helms. Back to you, Scotty.
Nick, that was awesome. Next is Chris Jones talking about our second chance classes. Chris.
Ayo, thanks, Scott. I'm here focusing in on the second chance courses here at Gaston College and how the advantages of these courses may turn out pretty good for the students. Well, due to popular demand, Gaston College added a variety of second chance courses. I sat down with guidance counselor Vicki Green to talk about some of the classes' advantages.
The advantages of the late start classes that Gaston College is offering are for those students who were unable to register earlier and be full-time students. Invariably, I'll have students to walk into my office saying I needed 12 credit hours and to be a full-time student, and they only had 9. So this is a great opportunity for students to add another class to be full-time, to stay on their parents' insurance and so forth.
Well, since most of the second chance courses are offered through the internet, I asked Vicki Green how that all works.
The majority of the classes that are late start classes are offered on the internet. The reason for that, the majority of our instructors already have a full load in class. So by offering the late start classes, they're able to add another class to their workload, have that over the internet. What a lot of students do not understand is that internet classes still close. We can only have X number of students in an internet class simply because the workload is the same for the instructor.
Well, as you can see, some of these second chance course advantages will turn out pretty good for the students. I'm Chris Jones, and back to you, Scotty.
Good job, Chris. That was cool. Now for our man on the street with James Privett. James?
Thanks, Scotty. I'm out here today to talk to people about the NFL and their favorite teams. I'm asking them how they think they're going to do. Well, many people have different responses, so let's get right to them.
The Washington Redskins is my favorite team, and I think they're going to do great. We had a big win last night over Philadelphia in Philly, and we beat them 20-12.
I really don't like the Carolina Panthers because it seemed for a while like every time I picked up the newspaper, somebody had been arrested for something. Violent crimes, brutal crimes. That's why I call them the Carolina Criminals.
I think the Panthers are going to do good this year because of Thomas Davis, because he's a great defensive player. Came from my favorite college, Georgia Bulldogs, and he's going to take them to victories. That's why I think the Panthers will do good this year.
That's all for me out here. Many people have many different teams. Some people like the Cowboys, some people like the Panthers, some people can't stand the Panthers. But in the end, we're all NFL fans, and we all just root for our separate teams. Back to Scotty in the studio. He's going to be interviewing Miss Mary Morton.
Thanks, James. I'm sitting here with Dr. Mary Morton, the world religions teacher at Gaston College. And I wanted to learn a little bit about Scientology. So What is Scientology?
Scientology is a religion that was started by L. Ron Hubbard in the 1960s. L. Ron Hubbard was actually a science fiction writer, and he was on kind of a spiritual quest, and he decided to write a book called Dianetics. And Dianetics forms the basis for the Church of Scientology.
Okay. What are some of the beliefs of Scientology?
They believe that the human being is composed of three parts. The spirit, which is called a thetan, the mind, which has two parts, the reactive mind and the analytic mind, and the body.
Okay.
They believe that the reactive mind is kind of our subconscious, and that it holds within it memories of bad things that have happened to us. And it could be something as simple as somebody cuts you off in traffic, or any bad experience you might have had as a child. And they believe that these, they call them engrams, affect you throughout your life. And that the goal of Scientology is to become what's called a clear. And that's where your analytic mind is no longer bogged down by all of these engrams in the reactive mind. And so they go through a process called auditing. And with the auditing, they sit at a table with a device called an e-meter, and an auditor sits on the other side of the table, and they bring up these bad things that have happened to you, and you learn to analyze them, look at them, and then kind of get over them. And it helps you become clear, and it helps you become more successful.
So what are some of the symbols of Scientology?
They have two basic symbols. The first is the 8-armed cross, which represents the 8 dynamics, including things like spirit, community, and so forth. And the second, that might be more recognizable, is the 2 triangles with the S interspersed between them. And the S, of course, is for Scientology. And this represents 3 basic principles. The 3 sides of the triangle represent affinity, reality, and communication. All 3 things are considered key in Scientology.
Well, thank you, Dr. Morton, for coming by and telling us a little bit about Scientology. That was very educational. Next, we have a piece by Stephen Boulis, and he's down at the radio station. Stephen?
Thank you, Scotty. I'm Stephen Boulis, and I'm standing here in the studios of WSGE, Gaston College's public radio station, where they're getting ready for a fund drive. I'll be speaking with some of the staff here about what the fund drive is and what it does for the station. I spoke with Ben Dungan, membership coordinator for WSGE, about what a fund drive is for.
Well, radio cost. It doesn't matter if you're a non-commercial station like WSGE or if you're a commercial station, costs are involved. By doing this, we reach out to our listeners who value what we do and ask them for money.
That money pays for equipment. Each unit you see here costs from several hundred to several $1,000s. Then there's maintenance and the $4,000 a month rental to place a transmitter on an existing 8,000-foot tower.
Radio should be fun. When our listeners tune in, they should have a good time, enjoy the music, and not think about the costs that are associated with the radio station. However, twice a year we do feel it's necessary to let them know what it costs to run and operate a station like WSGE.
WSGE broadcasts its eclectic music mix to a wide audience in North and South Carolina and now streams to listeners on the web at wsge.org.
Yes, we hope to have pledges from actually around the world this time. The stream is listened to in many countries in Europe and in Asia, and it's not unheard of for someone to send us a check from a foreign country.
So there you have it. I'm Steve Boulis for Inside Gaston. Back to you, Scotty.
Stephen, that was awesome. From everybody here at Inside Gaston, I'm Scottie Jones, and you stay classy.